I want to focus now on the reckless renewables rollout and focus on one project in particular. It's Lotus Creek wind farm, and it's under construction in central Queensland, northwest of Rockhampton. Environmentalist and photographer Steven Nowakowski has visited the site. Have a look at this.
Beautiful country here, Lotus Creek wind farm site. And up here in the tree, there's a koala.
Yeah, well, that's a beautiful picture of a koala, but have a look at this. The installation is going to host 46 turbines, each of them up to 230 metres tall. They're spread across 3,000 hectares that currently looks like this. For more, let's go to environmentalist and photographer Steven Nowakowski. Thanks for joining us again, Steven. Just shocking to look at those pictures, the extent of the land clearing, not just the tracks, but massive areas cleared to put the turbines up and obviously store gear and whatnot. Describe this bushland to us, what you know of it, what is there and how much damage is being done.
Yeah, so it's what we call high elevation refugia forest. It's the mountain tops that have escaped the clearing in the past. So it's considered as old growth forest. It's never been logged or selectively logged. It's never been cleared. And even cattle grazing in this area is really non-existent because of its rugged terrain. Pastoralists can't muster cattle, so it's really in pristine condition. But it's these areas that are now being targeted by the wind industry in Queensland, because this is where there's a skerrick of wind along the coastal ranges of Queensland. So what we're seeing is vast amounts right now being cleared for green energy. The hypocrisy is outstanding.
Yeah, it's shocking to see, and it's not an isolated case, as you've demonstrated with us before through the animation you've done showing it to us all, the current and proposed wind farms right along the east coast, right along the Queensland, that mountain range along there is extraordinary. Now, of course, the experts say, the government says they need to quadruple the number of wind turbines in this country to get to net zero. Let's just show you what the Greens leader, who I've been talking a lot about today, Larissa Waters, have a look at what she said yesterday about the environmental damage of this rollout.
I accept that renewables have to be in the right place. And if this one isn't in the right place, well, let's look at somewhere else to put it. We are going to need large-scale renewables in far greater capacity than we have.
Yeah, she was referencing one wind farm proposed for Tasmania there, but they seem to be just giving the renewables industry a bit of a leave pass when it comes to their so-called environmental aims.
Yeah, the Greens are delusional on this. They've got absolutely no idea what the task at hand is to try to achieve these 2050 targets. We've done some recent mapping and, in the pipeline, we're going to need around 31,000 wind towers, close to 500,000 hectares of solar. Well over 500 million solar panels. Larissa Waters has got no idea. She wouldn't even know that there is a wind farm proposed for the Tarkine wilderness of the west coast of Tasmania. 320 wind towers in an area that is earmarked for World Heritage listing. She wouldn't know that there's 3,000 turbines proposed in the Nullarbor on the coast, called the Western Green Energy Hub, which threatens, again, another World Heritage site there. This is a reckless rollout. There is no transparency, and it's about time that the Greens and also all the conservation groups start waking up to what's going on and calling out some of these really shocking proposals.
Yeah, they seem to be silent on a lot of this stuff. Now, apart from the clearing of the land and obviously breaking up with tracks that weren't there before, that's terrible now, and it's getting rid of some of the habitat and obviously bad for the wildlife there at the moment. But what about when the wind farms are up and running? Are there any ongoing costs to the environment beyond the aesthetics?
Well, that's right. We don't know what those costs are. Look, I've ground truthed the bases of many wind turbines in North Queensland. and guaranteed to see dead birds and bats. In fact, a number of occasions I've seen Pacific swifts under the turbines in Caban wind farm. These are critically endangered migratory birds, and there was a recent report released saying that the major threat to that species is wind farms. But we don't know we don't really know what is the impact. What we do know is that we're pushing in tens of thousands of kilometres of new roads into these remote wild areas. And by doing that, we fragment forests, we have weed incursions, edge effects, altered fire regimes, and we have tens of thousands of birds and bats. What we don't know is the cumulative impact of all this.
Yeah.
So like I said earlier, we've got around 31,000 wind towers potentially proposed. The cumulative impact of that is huge.
31,000 more to go. It's extraordinary stuff, Steven. Thanks for joining us again, and thanks for sharing those incredible and distressing pictures from up there in the central Queensland mountains or range there near the coast, not too far from the coast, about 20 k's inland. Now, Steven supports nuclear energy now because he's a committed environmentalist. He doesn't want to see this amount of damage done to the bushland around the country. Why don't we go for dense and compact emissions-free electricity?